And good afternoon. It's Friday, the 22nd of May, 2020, and my name's Dukey, and we are in the Albemarle. I've got another great replay to show you here. This is a bit different from the previous one. It's not it's another close game, but it's not necessarily quite as last second as the previous one. I've got a few little changes coming up to the channel. I'm going to keep on uploading these replays as and when they come along. Now, I don't know if you've been watching Flambass's video recently, but he's been stating a lot of how the matches haven't been quite as good. I kind of got to agree with him because it's taken a good sort of week or two to find a game where I think, you know, I really want to share them. Obviously, I want to share these great games with you guys. And so yeah. The Albemarle, quite a decisive ship in the game, really. It's one of those where I don't really know if a lot of people really like it. I think part of that's because of the promise that the heavy cruisers, British heavy cruiser line, was supposed to be, or the way that Wargaming described it, it was supposed to be a lot stronger than it appears to be. And I must admit, I've grinded through it. I like the tier 6. Haven't really liked the tier 7, so to speak, the Surrey, but I moved to the Albemarle, and I must admit I do quite like this ship despite its shortcomings, really. Averaging around about sort of 80,000 damage in this game at the moment, and that's mainly because of this really impressive British HE. Good at starting fires, and he does quite good chunk damage. Starting off straight away, I've moved towards the carrier here because I wanted to. I like to sort of help protect the DD. So moving towards the carrier, take a few of these down, get a bit of that carrier plane damage as well. I mean, those torps are not very good. I don't really know if it. Don't think it goes on to hit the Massachusetts there behind us, but. Either way, we've done a bit of damage to those. First salvo out, and yeah, right on the limits of the range there. Got to try and get rid of the hipper. Now we start taking a few pot shots at the destroyer to try and help him out. He's going to launch some torpedoes there as well. Got to help your DDs out in the game. Now I'm going to start switching over to the Tirpitz, who it doesn't really have a great game out, I think, if I remember right. Starts off by crashing straight into this island here, so these shots are going to fly way clear of the bow. Just add a few pit holes to that island there. And yeah, now I'm going to start doing a bit of damage on the Tirpitz. Now, rate of fire on this on the Albemarle, not great really. I think that's probably one of the weakest points of the ship. But that damage when you do hit well, you know, it's a 6,000 damage salvo there. Really commissioning this guy. Kagero Torp's just fallen a bit short, but never mind. Gonna get a few hits on the tail here. Just about. Now going the bow again because it's gonna accelerate away. Yeah, so the Albemarle. Not a lot of people like it. People say it's got armour. Other people don't think it's got armour. I have. If you saw the last video where I angled the Albemarle well against the 3 battleships and managed to bounce quite a few shots, that was the biggest learning curve ever for me in terms of learning about the armour on the cruisers and making them a little bit more survivable, and it really has changed the way I played, just seeing how that worked. Now the Albemarle, I think it's got about 110mm or 150mm of armour protecting the citadel on the sides, and if you angle that sort of, you know, 10 to 20 degrees off, then you tend to bounce the vast majority of the battleship's shells. And I found that they think that this thing is so soft that they have a go at you anyway to try and hit that citadel and go through it, and it just bounces clear. We'll see a bit of that again today. Notice the believe it's a Lenin there in the middle. Approaching our Vladivostok. And also, second, there's a DD there with him as well. Yep, there he is. So, make a bit of a tough decision here. Who do I help? Do I try and help with taking out the Kiev? Do take a few pot shots at him. I think I'll miss. Not a great choice, really. You've got something they could either hit, possibly, which is the DD, or you can shoot at the Lenin and just have all your shells shattered. You'll see that again in a moment. I really do not like that thing at the moment. These HE shells, I mean, that thing's got 60mm upper armour, and yeah, you just watch this salvo here. A lot of shatters. There you go. Look at that. Decent salvo. 4 shatters or non-penetration. You're just like, come on. How is that thing fair? But anyway, it's send another salvo out, try and do a bit of damage, try and keep him off the point because he's going to make it onto there. Fortunately, he's completely done a whoopsie, let's say, and he's sailed out straight in front of the vast majority of the fleet on the other side of the map. And there he gets punished for it as well, giving a lot of broadside to the battleships. Now, this Kagero and the Massachusetts on my side here are doing a good job, and you'll see them do a good job throughout the remainder of this game as well. Going to keep on having a pop at the Tirpitz there. Trying my best not to be spotted, you see, with the Albemarle. There's a lot of ships obviously you don't want to be spotted in, but Albemarle's on the list now for me where if you can play without getting spotted, so to speak, best to do that. You can see here the armour actually doing this job, so maybe a little bit steep an angle on the Tirpitz, on the Hipper, sorry, but he's firing AP, so he just can't do any damage. So even at that angle there, he's just not going to penetrate that. So there you go, a bit of decent angling against the Hipper. The Tirpitz fired, and again the armour angle is doing a job. Get a little bit lucky there, but obviously wasn't spotted until really late. Gonna move around the back of this island here just to stop myself getting too focused. This is what you've got to be aware of, really. I mean, your armour doesn't really hold up against. Doesn't seem to hold quite well against cruisers, but not against the battleships. So you've got to be aware of that. Again, look at the armour angle, making sure that giving him that flat side plate to shoot at, but he can't. I mean, he's firing AP again, so he's not going to get through. Okay, get a fire going, damage the torpedo tubes. Try and help that Kagero out a little bit more. I'm going to send another salvo out, but the salvo following it, I think, deletes it from the Massachusetts. There we go. And he's down. So that's another one out of the way. I don't have to worry about it anymore. Now, Barbaration pops up on the map. I give a well done to the Massachusetts because it's helped our flank out a lot. Not too bad at the minute. We are just winning a little bit on the kills, so we can push in just a touch, but obviously don't really want to be overextended at this point. Big salvo out against the Migration there. I think it took about 5,000 off his health with that first salvo, so that's now on the list of things that I know HE with. Didn't angle quite well there against the Tirpitz, but there is that little patch which has about 30mm of armour, which I think leads straight onto the Citadel on the deck of the ship. So have a look for that. Problem solved, sir. The Albemarle. It wasn't bad angling, but it wasn't the best. So take a hit. The super hill on the Albemarle is useful, but I mean, don't become reliant on it, let's say. I have found that the Albemarle is about staggering your engagements a little bit, so you can't just go from one fight to another. You do need a little bit of time just for your ship to recover. I think, you know. And again, one of the reasons why I do like this ship now is because it's got this reputation for being soft, so people are shooting at it a little bit more, I find. Now, if you can angle the armour well, you can do what you can against these things, so, you know, because they've seen them being deleted. So you can actually play into your effect if you move it around. So yeah, here we go, another salvo out against the Tirpitz, angling in, no damage taken, brilliant. So this is the kind of play that you really want to do if you can, you know. Though obviously if you're taking on 2 or 3 ships, this is not the ship to be doing it in at all. But you know. Take a hit there from Vladivostok, I believe. He takes off about 10,000 health. Again, I'm lucky there. I should have probably moved away. But a little bit focused, too focused maybe on the Tirpitz. So I've got lucky, but never mind. Again, angled the armour. He didn't hit me. Got the migration coming into the angle. Fired salvo AP off there, maybe because I thought he was going to be turning towards a Kagero, but not a great idea. Pop the hydroacoustic because the Tirpitz has those well-known torpedoes, so we can be expecting those. And I've sent mine out a little bit early as well, but I believe the Massachusetts is going to finish him beforehand. Now, I kind of wish I kept hold of them, because obviously it would have made this engagement against the Bagration a little bit quicker. See the torps coming in from the Bagration. Try and line up a dodge, but one of the differences here between the British and the British light and heavy cruisers is that the acceleration isn't very quick on them. Obviously that puts me into a flood, which I can't repair, never mind. Here we go. You can see exactly what the Bagration is trying to do, which is launch torpedoes on one side and ram me, and I just need to move out of the way, but I was really lucky there, I'm not going to lie. Massachusetts is going to eat 2 of those. I'm going to try and finish off this Bagration here. He's going to fire a salvo there. That was aimed at the Kagero behind me, not at me, so not a bad idea. Try and punish this rear here. It is getting a bit damage saturated though now. Yeah. 2,000 health, he's healing, but he's not going to be able to kill us at this point. Massachusetts just sails in the way a little bit, but never mind. So, yeah. Not a bad engagement. Wish I kept my torpedoes there for the Bagration, but you know, didn't really expect him to become so aggressive. Now, got a situation here where it's 5v5 and their team has surrounded the point, let's say. So, I decide probably Kagero is probably going to try and cap this out. Maybe the mass is going to go with him and help him. I don't know what this carrier is doing because sailed planes overhead again, didn't drop any rockets. I'm you know, doesn't bother me, we're just going to finish them off. So yeah, 5 kills, 5 plane kills there. So I'm going to head back towards the point here because they're going to start capping, which they have done. Knowing this could be a game loss. And I decide to tell my teammates, the Mast and the Kagero, to cap the enemy spawn. Which is, you know, if they can cap that out, I mean, I was kind of hoping that they wouldn't have 2 on our point, and us putting 2 on theirs, we might have a chance of doing this.
Torpedoes to starboard.
Torpedoes there, possibly from Destroy it. Massachusetts and the Kagero working well there together to make sure that they've got nobody gets to hit them on the planes. I mean, that Massachusetts HE is legendary. So, fire a few shells out. AP again for some reason, not sure why. But it does do the damage, even though it didn't do any actual physical damage to the Vladivostok. We made sure that we could do it. Benson pushes out at the point, so there we go. We've just stripped them of all the capture points that they managed to do. So this is now going to be a game winner as long as our team doesn't get hit. So maybe I probably should have slowed down a little bit here and not be shot at the mast. That was a really poorly aimed shot. We only got one hit there. Probably could have finished him off, really. And yeah, if I'd hold my position a little bit, I might not have been shot at by the Vlad. Those were really, really well placed shots at the nose of the ship, which we're going to go through. So yeah, managed to slow their cap down at least, and probably winners the game at this point. I obviously try and make sure that our team doesn't get hurt here, so we can win the game. So this was in all fairness should have been a loss really. The 3 versus 5, and they had a hell of a lot more health than we were ever going to have. So yeah, there we go then. So yep, onto the scoreboard. 78,748 damage. So not a great deal of damage, no kills, etc. But we did what we needed to do, which was win. Now this screen here, I think we got about 1,600 XP, etc. And yeah, that makes the difference. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this replay. Hope you got some good tips from how to play the Albemarle with it, and I'll catch you for the next one. Bye.